I've built amazing friendships. I've been able to travel the world with friends. I overcame the fear of posting online and fear of judgment from others. I learned new skills that landed me new jobs. I met an incredible friend here on YouTube who I actually ended up working with. I gained new business clients. And I connected with others who were on a similar journey as myself, all here on YouTube with less than 2,000 subscribers. Hey friends, I just wanted to share a story today with you guys. I was watching this video recently. It was super inspiring by a creator called Kamillah Rae here on YouTube. She did at the time of her video, she had 500 subscribers, and she wanted to talk about all the different experiences that she's had on YouTube and how great it's been even without having a quote-unquote viral video or having a massive amount of subscribers. And while I was watching it, I was super inspired. I also kept thinking about all the different ways that YouTube's actually changed my life, and some very different ways from hers, just with 2,000 subscribers. And some of the things that have happened to me in today's video actually occurred with, around 1,000 subscribers or less. And I hoped that this video today could provide some inspiration for any of you who are also thinking of starting a YouTube channel, and to just tell you guys to just go do it, because I've had some amazing experiences come through YouTube already, and I didn't go viral or have any videos go super mainstream or anything like that. And I have a very small community here on YouTube, but I've already had amazing experiences and incredible things happen, all thanks to YouTube. As I am recording this, I have 2,567 subscribers. I have a total of 186 videos. Although a lot of them are actually private. We can get into that in a little bit. And although my channel has never really blown up or provided me any income directly, it has provided me income in a lot of other ways. And it's also helped me to become more confident and travel the world and do new things and just meet new people. And the way that YouTube has changed my life is why I'm a massive advocate for anyone who's thinking of starting a YouTube channel to just start, especially if you've been thinking about it for a while, because I'll get into the details today, but you really don't need to blow up on YouTube for it to provide some amazing opportunities and changes in your life. So as usual, here is a list of topics that I'll put on the screen that we'll be going through today. Just in case any of you want to jump around on the video, I'll put the chapters as well so you can skip from part to part. But I thought the best way to share my story today would be chronological order. I want to talk about when I started on YouTube and where I'm at now. So to start, my love for video creation actually started long before I went on YouTube. I believe I was about 12 years old. My parents had moved me from the city to a farm, and I had a lot of free time not spent with others. Like I couldn't really leave the farm, drive somewhere, or make it to a friend's house. So when I wasn't doing like farm chores, I spent a lot of time taking photos and playing around with Photoshop. And my parents got me my first camera when I think I was 13 years old. They saw that I really liked playing around with that, and I kept renewing this Photoshop free subscription because I would just change the 30 days on my computer or something weird like that. I don't think you can do that anymore, but I kept getting the free subscription, like the trial, and I played around with Photoshop a lot. And then around that time I also realized that I liked to make these movies. I would get my cousin when she would visit to act out in these movies, or I'd get my younger brother to help me, and I would edit them on, I think it's Windows Movie Maker, which is like, I don't know if it still exists, super basic editing for videos, and I loved it. And that's where my love for just creating started. I ended up moving back to the city when I was about, 15 years old, and I kind of forgot about my love for video creation for a little while, but around that time I actually ended up becoming really obsessed with watching YouTube. So my obsession with YouTube, it started when I had moved back to the city and I didn't have a lot of friends in high school right away. It was kind of a weird time to move, and I became really obsessed with just watching YouTube videos. It was kind of like comfort to me. I watched a lot of, I believe it's Mac Barbie 07, like Bethany Moda, Zoe Sugg, like all those, very typical YouTubers from that time. And it was like, having a friend tell me about their new favorite makeup. And I used to go watch their like room makeovers and wish that I had the money to make my room in a new style or fashion. And I really loved watching those videos, and those were the ones that really inspired me. And I, loved when they had different editing styles, and I kept thinking to myself, I really want to make videos like that. And it was in high school, I met a friend who's actually a YouTuber, and she was telling me about, like, she had, I think, 11,000 subscribers at the time, and I thought it was so cool because I loved YouTube as well. And she encouraged me to, make some YouTube videos. At the time, I made them in the style of the videos that I liked watching, which was those like fashion and makeup videos. I can't say I was super talented in that realm, but I enjoyed making the videos. I think around that time though, people in my high school started finding out that I had a channel, and I got quite shy about it. Like, no one bullied me directly. It was like my internal thoughts of just like,
people are gonna watch me online. I don't know what they're gonna think.
And I do regret that I stopped posting on YouTube around that time, because as I'll say in this video, like, the sooner you start building those skills, and you want to keep practicing and get better and better. And we all have to start somewhere, and it might feel really cringy at first, but if you think of people who have made it now, they started somewhere once before, and they weren't like amazing at video editing or being on camera at the start. It took a lot of time and practice to get where they're at. So that's when my love for YouTube started. As I said, I started posting in high school, which I know I might look like I'm still in high school perhaps to some people, but I have been long out of high school, so I've been posting on and off YouTube for like the last decade, which is crazy. And so I don't post on that YouTube channel anymore. Perhaps I'll show you guys some of those old videos sometime in the future. I stopped posting for a little while. My confidence was low. I wasn't at the headspace where I could be posting online and take people watching it and not worrying about that. So went into university, kind of forgot about video editing for a while, and then COVID happened. And I think it was actually during university I did post a little bit as well, but stopped. But it was really COVID 2020 that I started posting on YouTube again, and I started with art videos. I wanted to get back into painting during COVID. I had the most free time that I'd had in years after finishing my degree and not being able to find work directly out of school with COVID happening and everything. I wanted to get back into painting and get back into creating things, and it was really my creative outlet. And for the first little while, I actually didn't show my face on camera because I felt quite shy at the thought of putting my face on camera again, and thinking of all the old cringy videos that I had posted. I just couldn't get over that yet. But I started to warm up to showing my face on camera with my art videos, and I think the reason it was easier was I wasn't seeing anyone. I was in isolation, so it really felt like I was just posting to YouTube and not worrying about what other people thought about me. And I think it was great because not worrying about other people just gave me the opportunity to just keep trying new things and improving my skills and trying new different kinds of art styles or editing, and I really, really enjoyed that period of time. And because of this time period, I actually started to realize that creating was something that I really loved and I had missed for, so many years while doing a more like science-based degree, and that I really loved designing things and painting and just getting back into all of that. So during COVID, I actually ended up building some graphic design skills, and my entire career shifted from like an environmental science degree to going into a design-based career. But YouTube played a massive role in that, with providing me with videos to watch to build those skills, but also becoming an outlet where I would work on those skills and showcase it here on YouTube. So at the time, my favorite kind of content was those little like Etsy sticker shop stores, people starting online little businesses with arts and craft related merchandise. And so that's what I started to get into, and I made myself an Etsy sticker shop, and I showed the whole process of making the stickers and selling them online. And this was the first time that I had a video quote unquote blow up. It still is the biggest video on my channel. I think the growth has really slowed down, but at the time it was the biggest numbers I had seen. And I think it hit like 20,000 views or something like that. I really thought that I had found my niche here on YouTube, but if you're watching this video and you've seen any of my recent videos, you'll see that really wasn't the case. The video ended up actually being kind of like a one-off hit on my channel, but I never forgot the feeling of having people find my channel and being so excited to see some growth after trying so many different things and realizing that people were watching one of my videos. It was an amazing feeling. And it was around this time that I actually started making friends here in the YouTube space. I had befriended other creators that were like similar channel sizes to myself, and also met some other YouTubers through Instagram where I was posting my art as well. And it felt really good to meet people who had similar interests to myself. I made two really amazing friends that I'm still close with till this day, and I met them through my art Instagram on YouTube, and I realized that we had all these similar interests. We loved being creative, we loved creating things, and we bonded over having like a YouTube channel and putting ourselves out there online as well. And we actually ended up meeting in Paris. I believe this was in 2021, and I hadn't met them ever before, and we really bonded over all our similar interests and love for art and walking around Paris together. And that was really thanks to, YouTube and where I met them on Instagram as well. And I always refer to them as my internet besties now. So for any of you who are wondering from previous vlogs, who those friends are that I'm referencing. I'll also link their channels down below too, because they both have YouTube channels as well. But coming back from that trip in Paris where I was meeting 2 new friends, it was kind of like COVID was still sort of around. Traveling was a little bit hard. I'm so glad I went though, because putting myself out in a new environment and meeting new people, it gave me a sense of optimism and hope in a time that was really quite hard coming out of university. And I remember coming back from Paris and having this feeling of like new confidence in meeting new people online and finding people who had such similar interests to myself as well. So since then, we've stayed in contact. I met them last year in Washington, D.C., and we had a girls' trip together. And we've continued to support each other as we move through our careers and try to find different creative outlets and stay motivated posting online together as well. I also made another amazing friend here on YouTube, one who I reference maybe even more often just because we ended up doing business together as well. Her name is Paige West, and I'll link her channel down below as well. I'll link all my friends' channels down below, Alex, Yuan, and Paige. And I met Paige here on YouTube, and we would comment on each other's videos and just show support here and there. And we ended up chatting and realizing that we have a lot of similar interests and just bonding over that as well. Paige was actually a friend who inspired me to take a massive risk in quitting my 9-to-5 a year ago. She quit about a year before I did. And I was so inspired watching her content here on YouTube and relating to what she had to say that I ended up, following those footsteps and quitting my 9-to-5 as well and trying to make my own passions my full-time career if possible through freelance. And we ended up actually working on a lot of projects together, and I work now as Paige's video editor as well. So our close friendship has also, translated to business together, and it's been the most amazing thing. And I can say this entire friendship is all due to our connection that started here on YouTube. So as I mentioned, I became a video editor for Paige, and I want to talk about the skills that have transferred from my YouTube journey into my career life. As I mentioned, I don't have a degree in design. I took an environmental science degree, but during COVID, I really worked on my passions and interests. And as I said before, I've been, playing with Photoshop since I was really like 12 years old or 13 years old. So it's really what I love to do when I have the free time to do it. And now to say that that has actually trickled into my work life is such an amazing thing. I built my video editing skills here on YouTube, and now I use those to work with Paige and edit her videos. And I actually ended up getting a graphic design job, 9-to-5, for a startup. I worked with them for about a year. And one of the reasons they hired me is they said, it's great that you have these graphic design skills that I'd built during COVID, but also that you can video edit, because there's actually not that many people out there, I guess, who do video editing. Maybe it's picked up since then. This was about, 2 years ago. Yeah, they actually told me that was one of the reasons why they hired me. So I became a graphic designer in-house for this startup for about a year, and I edited their YouTube videos as well. So it's truly been amazing to have this hobby on YouTube where I learned, started off with art and then making a sticker shop and then getting more into like graphic design and web design, and then combining all of that with the video editing that took place while working on those hobbies and having that, flow into this career now that I, had this 9-to-5 job where I had to use those skills, but also now that I've quit my 9-to-5, which we can get into in a little bit too, now I use those skills as a freelancer, and a lot of that all ties back to YouTube. So another thing that I realized while creating here on YouTube is that action creates confidence. I wasn't super confident in myself in high school. I was shy about people finding those YouTube videos, and during COVID, it was a time where I not only built up my skills, but I also built up my confidence. I started to believe in myself more, go and meet new people, go to new countries alone, and just take every opportunity that was possible. And each time I did that, my confidence grew. The confidence that I built on YouTube, it really did just trickle into all other aspects of life. During COVID, I decided to take part in the Miss Universe Canada pageant here in Canada. It was in Toronto at the time. It was very tight COVID regulations at the time. I think this was 2020, end of 2020 perhaps, or beginning of 2021. I think it was end of 2020. And I had never done a pageant before. Looking back on it, I was extremely underprepared for this pageant, but I have no regrets in doing it because, again, I met amazing people, I got to travel by myself and network and meet amazing, inspiring women around Canada. And it's really great to see them even online to this day and see what they're doing. I also put myself out there. I'd never walked in a bikini before, walked alone, let alone in a dress and heels before in front of people, and had to do some public speaking and all of that. It was really great to just build those skills and to build my confidence by putting myself out there. So I think, all of this ties in with just getting more comfortable putting myself out there, not only online, but it also trickled into my personal life and just business life as well. As I mentioned, I also traveled to Europe with friends, and traveling out there by myself was amazing, and meeting my friends who I hadn't met before out there was amazing. But also since then, I've gone on to travel by myself. I traveled last year for 2 months solo in Europe. I actually met friends along the way, but that was a solo travel by myself. And that was the same year I actually quit my 9-to-5 job, because I just was like, you know what, I need to be confident in myself, confident in my skills, and believe that putting myself out there, that I can find work on my own as well. And it really just kept building. I went on podcasts with my friends. They have 2 podcasts, which I'll also link down below, for my friend Alex and Yuan. I talked about my experience at Miss Universe Canada. We talked about our experience traveling together and meeting each other in Paris. And the confidence just kept rolling. And on top of all of that, I'm just really glad that I created memories here on YouTube, ones that I can look back on and see how far I've come. There's, all the videos that I've privated as well. But even if I look back at the ones I first created, at the peak of COVID, when I had my first art video online, and then warming up to show my face in these videos and getting more comfortable talking to you guys here on camera, it just shows what a journey I've been on and how much I've had to push myself out of my comfort zone. And I love that I can look back on those memories and also see different memories I've created with new friends in different countries, and just bringing your camera out and capturing those moments is an amazing thing. And if you're someone who's always wanted to do that, this is an amazing reason to go out and do that. Put them on YouTube, create those memories, create those experiences, and see how far you've come. And on top of all of that, I've, continued to grow my skills here on YouTube. By being on YouTube, it's pushed me to want to keep creating better content for you guys, to try find my niche, to show my business journey, to possibly inspire others who are thinking of quitting their 9-to-5 and going freelance, and sharing how I've managed to do that, any tips that I have, talking about any mistakes that I've made, and trying to help others along the way. By being on YouTube, it's pushed me to keep bettering myself and keep getting more confident and trying these new things. So I can really thank my YouTube journey for that as well. The whole creative process of planning out videos, making the script, planning the B-roll, each stage of the video. I didn't used to do that when I first started here on YouTube, but I think as you get better and you start to plan that out more, it's an amazing skill to have, because you're just working on so many different skills at the same time. The overall skill of making a video, you got to do the writing, the research, the SEO, the thumbnail, the shots. You got to get a little bit better with photography and video editing and all the rest. And those are some really valuable skills to have in this world, especially as we're moving into a place where with marketing, videos are, kind of key at the moment. People love short form content. I've always been a fan of the long form content, but I think just knowing how to edit those things, you really open up some career opportunities for yourself as well. And I also learned some new skills with working with others online as well. As I mentioned, as a video editor for Paige, I had to figure out what's the best way to go about editing videos with someone I'm not seeing face to face. We live in different countries, and figuring out what software to use and how to make comments on what is needed, and where to upload things and get feedback, and how to work together as a team in 2 different locations. So that's another amazing skill that I've learned through YouTube and working together here. If you guys would like to see a video on that, I definitely will put that together for you guys, how to be a video editor for other YouTubers and the different tools that I use to make my life a little bit easier while doing that as well. So just let me know if you'd be interested in that. So yes, I've worked on the dream of becoming a content creator here on YouTube for many years now. I've fallen in and out of love with making YouTube videos for the past decade. And what I've learned is that the times where I let other people's judgment stop me from creating is when I've been least happy or feeling least fulfilled. And the times where I've gone out and taken risks and put myself out there and not let the fear of judgment from others hold me back have been the most rewarding times of my life. So if the fear of judgment of others or just putting yourself out there is what's preventing you from making a YouTube channel, I say start today. As I mentioned, you don't even have to show your face at first, okay? I was painting little pictures and not putting my face out there to start, you can ease yourself in instead of throwing yourself all in at once. But you want to start building those skills today, because we all have to start somewhere, and it's better to start now versus, later and trying to build those skills later on in life. So if that's something you guys have always been thinking of doing, if there's any parts of my story where you thought, hey, that's something I'd be interested in doing or having that opportunity or experience, start today. Putting yourself out there doesn't have to result in thousands of views to bring amazing opportunities into your life. And success can look different for everyone. So that is all I have for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if any of you are thinking about starting that YouTube channel, just start today. Trust me, you won't regret it. And I will talk to you all soon in my next video. See you then. Bye, guys.